Welcome to my channel. Do you ever feel like you know English, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank and you don't know what to say? Comment yes if this happens to you, because in this video, I'm going to give you 100 powerful phrases that will completely change the way you speak English every single day. Chapter 1. The Foundation. Simple everyday greetings and responses. Now let me tell you something very important. Most English learners think they need big words to speak English. That is not true. Real English starts with small and simple phrases. And today, you are going to learn the most powerful ones. Think about your daily life. Every conversation starts with a greeting. If you master greetings, you already win half the battle. Yes, it is that powerful. Let's begin. When you meet someone, you can say hello or hi. These are the most common words, very easy, very powerful. But if you want to sound more natural, you can say, hey, this is more casual. You can use it with friends. Now comes the most important question. How are you? You already know this. But do you know how to answer it in different ways? Most learners say, I am fine. That is okay. But native speakers use many other answers. You can say, I am good. You can say, I am doing great. You can say, not bad. You can say, pretty good. You can even say, could be better. Now listen carefully. These small changes make you sound natural. This is the secret. Let's go deeper. If someone says, what's up? Do not get confused. It does not mean something is physically up. It just means, how are you? Or what are you doing? You can reply like this, nothing much, just relaxing, just working. Same as always, simple answers. No stress. Now imagine this. You meet your friend after a long time. What will you say? You can say, long time no see, or how have you been? And your answer can be, I have been good, or I have been busy. Can you see something? These are not difficult sentences, but they are very useful. Now let's talk about time greetings. In the morning, say, good morning. In the afternoon, say, good afternoon. In the evening, say, good evening. These are simple, but they show respect. People like it when you speak like this. Now here is a small trick. Listen carefully. When someone asks, how are you? They do not always want a long answer. Sometimes they just want a short and polite reply, so keep it simple. Smile and say, I am good. How about you? Yes, always ask back. This keeps the conversation alive. Now I want you to imagine something. You are standing in front of someone. You know English, but your mind goes blank. Why does this happen? It happens because you are afraid. You think too much. You want to be perfect. But listen to me. You do not need perfect English. You need simple English. Say small sentences. Speak slowly. That is enough. Now let's practice a small conversation. Person A says, hi. Person B says, hey. Person A says, how are you? Person B says, I am doing great. How about you? Person A says, pretty good. See how easy this is? You can do this. Now let me give you another situation. You meet someone new. You can say, nice to meet you. They will say, nice to meet you too. That is it. Simple, clean, natural. Now here is another powerful phrase. How's your day going? You can answer, it's going well, or it's okay, or it's a bit busy. These phrases help you talk about your day. Now let me tell you something very important. If you learn just these greeting phrases, you can handle many conversations. Maybe even half of your daily conversations. Yes, you heard that right. Because every talk starts with a greeting. If you are confident at the start, everything becomes easier. Now I want you to feel this. Imagine tomorrow morning. You meet someone. Instead of staying quiet, you smile and say, good morning, how are you? That small moment can change your confidence. English is not just a language. It is a feeling. It is confidence. And today, you just took your first step. Do not worry about mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes. What matters is that you try. Speak every day, even if it is just one sentence. Repeat these phrases again and again. Practice in front of a mirror. Talk to yourself. Yes, it works. You are not far from fluency. You are just one step away. Now tell me, are you ready for the next level where you will learn how to start and continue real conversations? Chapter 2: Daily Conversation Starters and Small Talk. Now you know how to greet people. That is a big step. But here's the real problem. Many learners can say hello and how are you, and then they stop. Silence. Awkward moment. You don't know what to say next. Have you felt this? You are not alone. Today I will fix this problem for you. Starting a conversation is easy, but continuing it is the real skill. And the good news is, you don't need big grammar. You just need simple phrases. Let's begin. After you say, "How are you?" the next step is to ask a simple question. You can say, "What are you doing?" or "What are you up to?" or "How is your day going?" These questions are very common. You can use them every day. Now think like this. When you ask a question, the other person answers. That gives you more information, and that information helps you continue the talk. This is the secret of conversation. Let me show you. You say, "What are you doing?" They say, "I am studying." Now you can ask, "What are you studying?" They answer again. See, the conversation is growing. You don't need magic, you just need curiosity. Now let's learn more phrases. You can say, "Any plans for today?" You can say, "How was your day?" You can say, "What did you do today?" These questions are simple, but they keep the conversation moving. Now here comes a powerful moment. Listen carefully. A good conversation has a pattern. It is very simple. First, greeting. Second, question. Third, reaction. Fourth, follow-up. This is your formula. Let's use it. You say, "Hi, how are you?" They say, "I am good." You say, "That's great." Then you ask, "What are you doing today?" This is a complete flow, natural and smooth. Now let's talk about reactions. This is very important. When someone says something, you should react. You can say, "That's nice." You can say, "That's interesting." You can say, "Really?" You can say, "Wow, that's great." These small phrases show that you're listening. People love that. Now imagine this situation. Your friend says, "I watched a movie yesterday." You can say, "Oh really, which movie?" See what happened. You reacted and asked a question. Now the conversation continues. Now let's talk about another problem. What if your mind goes blank? What if you don't know what to say? Relax. I will give you some rescue phrases. You can say, "Anyway." You can say, "So yeah." You can say, "By the way." These phrases give you time to think. They help you change the topic. Very useful. Now let's learn some transition phrases. You can say, "By the way, I wanted to ask." You can say, "Guess what?" You can say, "You know what happened today?" These phrases make your conversation more interesting. They create curiosity. Now I want you to imagine something. You are talking to someone. The conversation is slow. Then you say, "Guess what?" Now the other person becomes curious. They want to listen. This is how you make your conversation alive. Now let's practice a full example. You say, "Hey, how are you?" They say, "I am good." You say, "That's nice. What are you up to?" They say, "I'm working." You say, "Oh, that's interesting. What kind of work?" Now the conversation is flowing. You are doing great. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes you feel scared. You think, "What if they don't reply?" Or "What if I say something wrong?" Listen to me carefully. It is okay. Even if the conversation stops, it is fine. You can always start again. You can say, "So what else is new?" You can say, "Tell me something interesting." These phrases restart the conversation. Now here is another truth. People do not care about your perfect English. They care about connection. If you smile, if you listen, if you show interest, your English will work. Now I want to talk to your mind. You want to speak English. You want to feel confident. You want to talk without fear. And you can, but you must practice. Speak these phrases every day, even alone, even in your room. Yes, talk to yourself. It helps more than you think. Now imagine your future. You meet someone. You start talking. You ask questions. You react. You smile. You feel confident. That moment is coming, and you are building it right now, so do not stop. You are doing amazing. Now, are you ready to learn the most useful phrases for real-life situations like shopping, asking for help, and traveling? Chapter 3, Essential Phrases for Daily Situations. Now you can greet people. You can start conversations. That is powerful. But here comes the real test. Real life. Imagine this. You go to a shop. You go to a restaurant. You travel to a new place. Now you must speak English to get what you need. And suddenly fear comes. What if I don't understand? What if I say something wrong? Relax. Today, you will learn simple phrases that will help you in real life. These are survival phrases. With these, you can manage almost anywhere. Let's begin with shopping. When you enter a shop, you can say, "Excuse me, this is very important." It is polite. Then you can say, "I am looking for this." Or, "Do you have this?" If you want to ask the price, say, "How much is this?" Simple, clear, effective. If it is too expensive, you can say, "It's too expensive." Or, "Do you have something cheaper?" Now imagine this. You want to buy clothes? You can say, "Can I try this?" Or, "Do you have a bigger size?" Or, "Do you have a smaller size?" These phrases will help you feel confident in a store. Now let's move to restaurants. You sit at a table, the waiter comes. You can say, "Can I see the menu?" Or, "Can I get the menu, please?" When you order, say, "I would like this." Or, "Can I get this?" If you want water, say, "Can I get some water?" If you are not ready, say, "I need some time." Very simple. Now listen carefully. Politeness matters a lot. Always use please and thank you. Say, "Thank you" when someone helps you. Say, "Excuse me" when you need attention. These small words make a big difference. People respect you more. Now let's talk about asking for help. You can say, "Can you help me?" Or, "Could you help me, please?" If you are lost, say, "Where is this place?" Or, "How can I go there?" If you don't understand, say, "Can you repeat that?" Or, "Can you speak slowly?" These are life-saving phrases. Now imagine this situation. You are in a new city. You don't know the way. You feel nervous. But then you say, "Excuse me, can you help me?" That one sentence gives you power. You are no longer stuck. Now let's talk about traveling. At the airport, you can say, "Where is the check-in counter?" You can say, "Where is my gate?" If you need help, just say, "I need help." Simple English works everywhere. Now here comes a powerful moment. Listen carefully. You do not need perfect English to travel the world. You just need the right phrases. Yes. Just these simple phrases can help you survive in any country. Feel that confidence. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes people speak fast. You don't understand. Do not panic. Say, "Sorry, I didn't understand." Say, "Can you say that again?" This shows confidence. You are not afraid. Now think about this. Before today, you may feel weak in English, but now you have tools. You know what to say. You know how to ask. That changes everything. Now let's do a quick real-life example. You go to a shop. You say, "Excuse me," they say. "Yes." You say, "Do you have this?" They show you. You say, "How much is this?" They answer. You say, "Okay, I will take it." Done. You handled it. Now a restaurant example. You say, "Can I see the menu?" You look. You say, "I would like this." They bring food. You say, "Thank you." Simple, smooth, confident. Now I want to talk to your heart. You are learning. You are improving. Step by step. Maybe you still feel nervous. That is normal. But every time you speak, you grow. Every small sentence builds your confidence. Do not wait to be perfect. Start now. Use these phrases today, even if you make mistakes, because mistakes are your teachers. Now imagine your future again. You walk into a place, you speak English, you get what you need, no fear, no stress. That is your future, and you're building it right now. You are stronger than you think. Now are you ready to learn how to express your feelings, your opinions, and sound more natural in conversations? Chapter 4. Expressing feelings, opinions, and reactions. Now you can greet people. You can start conversations. You can handle real-life situations. That is amazing progress. But there is still one big problem many learners face. They can speak, but they cannot express themselves. They can ask questions. They can answer. But when it comes to feelings or opinions, they stop. Have you felt this? You want to say something, but you don't know how to say it in English. Today, we fix this, because real English is not just about words. It is about expressing your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas. Let's begin with something very simple. If you want to give your opinion, you can say, I think. For example, I think this is good, or I think this is difficult. Very easy, very useful. You can also say, I feel like, for example, I feel like I need rest, or I feel like this is not right. Now let's make it stronger. You can say, in my opinion, this sounds a bit more formal, but still simple. For example, in my opinion, this is the best way. Now listen carefully. You do not need big words to express big ideas. Simple sentences are enough. Now let's talk about reactions. When someone tells you something, you should react. This makes your conversation alive. You can say, that's great. You can say, that's nice. You can say, that's interesting. You can say, wow, that's amazing. These phrases show your emotion. Now imagine this. Your friend says, I got a new job. If you say nothing, the conversation feels cold. But if you say, wow, that's great, now the conversation feels warm. That is the power of reactions. Now let's talk about agreement. When you agree, you can say, I agree, or you are right, or that's true. Very simple. Now disagreement. Many learners feel scared to disagree, but it is okay. You just need to be polite. You can say, I don't agree, or I think differently, or maybe you're wrong. These are soft and safe. Now here is a smart trick. If you're not sure, you can say, maybe, for example, maybe you're right, or maybe we can try this. This makes your English sound natural and calm. Now let's talk about feelings. You can say, I am happy, I am sad, I am tired, I am excited, I am nervous. These are basic words, but they are very important. Now combine them with phrases. I am really happy today. I am a bit tired. I am very excited. Now you sound more natural. Now imagine this situation. Someone asks, how do you feel? You say, I am fine. That is okay, but if you say, I am a bit tired, but I am okay, now you sound real. That is the goal, real English. Now here comes a powerful moment. Listen carefully. Fluency is not about big vocabulary, it is about expressing simple ideas clearly. This is your breakthrough. Now let's talk about another fear. You think, what if I say something wrong? Here is your solution. Use safe phrases. You can say, I am not sure, but you can say, I think. You can say, maybe. These phrases protect you. They give you confidence. Now let's do a small conversation. Person A says, I watched a movie. Person B says, oh really? How was it? Person A says, I think it was good. Person B says, that's nice. See how simple this is? But it feels natural. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes you want time to think. You can say, let me think. This gives you time, no pressure. You can also say, I don't know. And that is okay. You do not need to know everything. Now I want to speak to your emotions. You want to speak English with confidence. You want people to understand you. You want to express your thoughts without fear. And now you are learning how, step by step. You are not the same person who started this video. You are growing. Every phrase you learn is making you stronger. Now imagine this. You are in a conversation. You share your opinion. You react. You express your feelings. You feel confident. That moment is closer than you think. Keep going. Practice these phrases daily. Speak them out loud, even if you are alone, because your voice matters. Now are you ready for the final chapter, where you will learn advanced everyday phrases that make you sound fluent and confident like a natural speaker? Chapter 5. Advanced Everyday Phrases for Confidence and Fluency. Now look at yourself. You can greet people, you can start conversations, you can handle real-life situations, you can express your feelings and opinions. This is not small. This is powerful. But now, we go one step higher. This chapter will make you sound more natural, more confident, more fluent. These are the phrases that real speakers use every day. Let's begin. Sometimes you don't want to give a direct answer. You want to think first. You can say, "Let me think." This is a very powerful phrase. It gives you time. It removes pressure. Now imagine someone asks you a question. Your mind is blank. Instead of staying silent, you say, "Let me think." Now you look calm, not nervous. That is confidence. Now let's learn another phrase. It depends. Very useful. For example, someone asks, "Is this easy?" You can say, "It depends." This shows you are thinking. It sounds natural. Now, here's another one. To be honest, you use this when you want to say your true feeling. For example, "To be honest, I don't like it." Or, "To be honest, I am tired." Simple, clear. Now listen carefully. You do not need big words to sound fluent. You need the right phrases. Now let's learn how to agree in a natural way. You can say, "That makes sense," or "I see what you mean." These phrases sound very natural. Native speakers use them a lot. Now imagine this. Someone explains something to you. You understand. Instead of saying just "okay," you say, "I see what you mean." Now you sound more fluent. Now let's talk about correction. Sometimes you want to change your sentence. You can say, "Actually," for example, "Actually, I think this is better." This is a small word, but very powerful. Now let's talk about another useful phrase. At the end of the day. This means after thinking about everything. For example, "At the end of the day, we need to work hard." Now you sound thoughtful. Now let's learn how to continue speaking without stopping. You can say, you can say, "I mean," these phrases help you speak smoothly. They fill small gaps. Now imagine this. You are speaking, you forget a word. Instead of stopping, you say, "I mean," now you keep going. This is fluency. Now here comes the most important moment of this video. Listen very carefully. The secret of fluency is not big vocabulary. The secret is using simple phrases again and again with confidence. Yes, that is it. You already know many of these phrases now. If you use them daily, you will sound fluent. Now let's talk about practice. Do not just watch. Speak. Repeat these phrases. Say them out loud. Talk to yourself. Yes, it works. Stand in front of a mirror. Speak. Use these phrases in your daily life, even if you make mistakes. Because practice builds confidence, and confidence builds fluency. Now I want you to imagine something. A few weeks from now, you're talking to someone in English. You're not afraid. You're not stuck. You're speaking. You're expressing. You're smiling. That is your future. And it starts today. You are not weak in English. You just needed the right direction, and now you have it. So do not stop here. Keep learning. Keep speaking. Keep growing. You are closer than you think. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below which phrase you will start using today, and tell me, do you feel more confident now?